what on earth is actually happening? What on earth is actually happening? This is the daily, this is the weekly. Some tokens, exchange tokens, 30% down, OKEX token. Solana, 32%, Aptos, 30, XRP, 25. It is an absolute bloodbath. Absolute bloodbath. Those 5.6 billion liquidations in the past 24 hours. And this might not actually be the bottom of it. It's not only crypto, and that is, I think that is the biggest scary situation here. It's not only crypto, but it's also gold, it's also silver, it's also stocks. Combined down $2.4 trillion worth of market cap removal. Now, with crypto, it's been literally just no stop. If you've been in the Telegram yesterday, we've been going on and on and on. I've been posting my thoughts. And it can be a secret sovereign dumping, it can be an exchange blow up, it can be anything else. There's a lot of speculation on why this relentless sell has been going on, but I know one thing, and that is that it doesn't make sense to sell Bitcoin here at 60,000. It doesn't. I know it hurts. I know it's fucking horrible. Sorry for my language, but it doesn't make any sense. If you look at the history, I've been here since 2016, right? So I've been riding up 2017, down 2018, 19, 19 up, then 21 up, then 22, 23 down. Is that every single time people overestimate both the bottom and the top. They don't sell because they think it's gonna go further, and they don't buy because they think it's gonna go down more. And so selling here, if you haven't sold, I know it sucks. Don't. Okay, not financial advice, but don't. It doesn't make any sense to do it now. What will make sense, and I'm going to tell you exactly what in this show, is that I do believe a bounce has to come. That's very important. That a couple of times you see all these KOLs online and whatever. If you have been here forever, you know that I'm, very transparent, telling you exactly what I do with my own money, been guiding you through this. Called the top in October 17th at $105,000. The question is, how do we time this bottom, and what is it that we actually are going to do about this? And is there actually a chance of Bitcoin going down to 30, 40,000? One thing I can tell you is this: no one fucking knows. No one knows, because it's not just about Bitcoin looking at the charts, it's about everything else. It's about silver going down 15%, it's about 30%, it's about gold down 16%, it's about tech stocks, the Nasdaq, the S&P probably correcting. So anyway, if you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗑𝗲. I've been here since 2016, as I said, and I do this content here in the 100x Club. You can literally just come here every day, 5 to 10 minutes, and see every update that I make. I navigate the chart as I go. I have a community. There's a link in the description. Go and check that out as well. Oh, guys, let's get going. Couple of things. I made this post and I said the bounce isn't coming sooner than you think. And I detailed these charts and I explained why I believe that this weekly level in the total market cap will have to hold. Now, I did believe that the 4 hour will actually, I even have it brought up here, that I did believe that the 4 hour will hold just the same way as it held here and resulted in a massive, massive pump. But it didn't. We will see why. There was someone selling, something selling. But I still believe that this pattern is going to play out. And the reason why I believe that going forward this week we have to see a pump is because the weekly bottom here. Let me just put this back here. Let me remove this here. So if you look at the vehicle level, I do believe that this week, and I even detailed it in the community, I said that we do need to see a weekly close above the 2.31 trillion. If that does not happen, it's devastating. Like, I mean it. We will see the crypto market cap go down to 1.5 trillion, another 30, 40%. Bitcoin possibly down to the 40s. Like, if we don't have a close above there on the weekly, Bitcoin is going down to like the 40,000 region, which is, again, of course, an amazing buying opportunity, but it will be devastating for the market. So that said, all I can do is trade the lower time frames. I'm going to get back to this in a second, but let's see what I'm expecting here. One very important part of the thesis is that the weekly should close above the 231. That means that I do believe the total market cap will go up 5 to 10%. There will be a decent bounce on the tokens. You see it on the 1 hour chart, but I do believe that you are going to see a decent rally on these coins. And I know it sounds, crazy because there is no bid, no whatsoever. You're crazy, 𝗑𝗲, but I'm not the guy that's been calling for up and up and up forever. I told you on October 17th that we're going, or 18th, that we're going down. We're going down. I literally started looking at longing around these regions because risk reward wise, this OB made sense. Okay, So I'm not ludicrous, being a hopeful, whatever, calling for altcoins, and I'm telling you that I do believe that this here will have to bounce above the weekly. If that bounce does not happen and we do not close above the weekly chart, it's GG, and we're going much, much lower. But because I trade the chart and I look at this, and again, I know it's difficult, especially considering the fact that you can see the S&P potentially correcting, the Nasdaq potentially correcting. We're going to talk about this in a second. If I just look at this chart and understand the dynamics, if I look at the 50% retrace done, everything, this is nothing else but a fake out to the downside and to trap bears. And I do believe that we need to close above there. And the major confirmation for that for me would be a reversal here. Now, very important, the reversal has to happen on the 15-minute because it didn't, because there wasn't, the sell was so heavy, selling was so heavy that this would basically have to come up all the way to like 258 to confirm the hourly versus 20%. Fuck, it's insane. But I can look at the 15-minute chart, and yesterday this was a 8 to 10%, 7 to 8% capitulation wick down here, followed by an immediate reversal V-shaped recovery. And if you've been here for a long time on the channel, I explain to you all the time how these V-shaped recoveries always mark bottoms. Always. V-shaped recovery is always a very strong signal for a potential reversal. And this is what I said here in the community as well. It's free, by the way. Join in. I know it's, you know, the market is devastating and whatever. Join in. There's a link in the description. At least we're together and you can get my thoughts as well. You're not alone. So join in there. But in here I said exactly that V-shaped recoveries happened. I logged Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. That's exactly what I did. Stop loss at lows, manage risk, small tries with very high risk reward. And the reason why I say that is because if you catch this, you know, the possibility of this actually having a decent rally all the way up to the daily OB, which would be, you know, which would be up here, will still be bearish, but having another 20% pump is reasonable. And this would start as it is now. So the reason why I took these long positions and what I'm actually monitoring now, also posted in the community, that the plan is that we're going to get a 50% retrace on London, lots of selling finished with a 10% capitulation. Big sellers must be exhausted. And then I made a joke of Goggins as being the sellers. But I do believe that this is coming. So I think that the most likely play here is that we need to see a retrace on London. Something, hopefully, I mean, if we get it, this would be an amazing long opportunity. Stop loss down here on the bottom on all the tokens. I'm going to look at Bitcoin and Sol in a second, and ETH. But ultimately, I would imagine that we come down 50% on here and then rally from there. And I do believe that we're going to close the week higher than 2.31 trillion. And then we just take it level by level. I would not be surprised if this was actually just coming right here like this and just climbing back to the daily high. Now, super important. 1, yes, I am trading this. 2, I've seen some people posting on X like, oh my God, you're so horrible at longing. Oh my God, I got destroyed, liquidated. 1, I feel for you because I've been there. When I started learning how to trade, I took all the trades. I took massive risk, whatnot. Even now, I take massive risk for no fucking reason. But it's all about coming to risk management, as I always told you. Risk no more than 1% of your trade. And you see, you can look at my Bitfunded account here, which I'm running here publicly with you. So you can look here at my Bitfunded is a prop firm. So it's actually very good at these scenarios because you buy an account for, you know, $100, $500, whatever that is, and you get $100,000 capital to trade with, and you only lose or risk $100, whereas you would risk, you know, a bigger amount. But here on my dashboard on this account, I actually got a $5,000 account dropped by Bitfunded. Pretty cool. I think they do this promotion that you can buy one, get one for free. Go and check that out. Link in the description as well. But I have $10,000 here in this on this account, right? I'm gonna get to 15, and I'm gonna realize this, and I'm gonna pass the challenge. But all I'm saying is like, if you manage risk properly and you do these things properly, you can easily navigate the market. It's not about the market. It's not about me. It's about you with the market. Okay. So very important. All I do here on the channel is tell you what I'm doing with my own money, and you get deciding if you follow it. If you take this, a 5%, 8% stop loss, and you take a 20x leverage position, that means you're losing 160% of your position. Of course, you're going to get blown out. But if you look at this here, my trade, and I just want to show you this because this is very relevant. I can go here and go to trade. I long Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum, right? So I long Solana on Toobit. I'm going to show you that in a second. But here on Bitfunded, look at this. So my stop loss on Solana, if I get hit, this is a $150,000 account. My stop loss is $2,400, right? $2,400. That's less than 2% of the account balance. Less than 2% of the entire account. On my Bitcoin long, it's $1,500. That's 1% of the account. And I'm already $10,000 in profit, 10% in profit, so I can afford to lose more. The reason why I'm showing you this is because it's not about the market. It's not about me. It's not about, oh, who's the idiot? It's about you planning and trading. And especially when you know that a chart looks like this, you don't just blindly long into this with massive leverage. You don't, because you're pissing against the wind. The best thing to do is actually just sit out and wait. Maybe it will take a month, but then just wait for it to come down and short it, as we have done here, as we have done here, as we have done here. Short it, nice. Short it, nice. Short it, nice. The reason why I'm trying to get in here is because it's a good reason why I should basically just sit out. But I love trading, and I do believe that a lower time frames, it does make sense when you have confirmation. If you look at this, we had confirmation, and we get stopped. That's how it works. The only reason why you can get screwed if you do not follow proper risk management. Follow proper risk management. Okay, that said, I also wanted to tell you about I have a Solana long here on Toobit. I've actually spent time with Toobit. Toobit is an exchange, non-KYC, registered in Singapore. I spent time with the founders. I heard their story. They are absolutely insane. One of the safest exchanges, in my opinion, one of the coolest exchanges that I've met with the founders. We had a lot of chats. We had a lot of talks. They are very, very legit. They have insane amount of cash to keep themselves, even if, you know, the market goes down. They have massive investors, including Xiaomi, the phone company, or the car company, 𝗲𝗓𝗓, one of the largest exchange. So like they have massive backers as well. Not only that, we have made a deal with them. I can't disclose a lot yet, but if you use our links, there are certain things that we'll be able to do together. Okay, so they just sponsored La Liga as the regional sponsor. Also, I talked to the La Liga team. La Liga is, you know, the football league. And I told them, how do you do due diligence on a shady exchange in Singapore? And they're like, bro, like we looked at everything. So they took 3 months to do audits. I'm telling you, you know, it's a legit exchange. That said, they have insane sign-up bonuses. But most importantly, you can get $50 sign-up and the 20% deposit bonus. But most importantly, what you can really get is an opportunity to do cool shit with me, okay? So I'm not gonna tell you more. It's gonna be based on volume. But if you trade, you just trade, use our link. Get on, there's a link in the description. Sign up, use our link, trade on our link, and there'll be cool stuff coming, okay? It's worth it. I promise you it is worth it. If you're trading anywhere, trade on our link. Join in the description. There's a link in the description to the community. And please manage risk accordingly. TLDR, I do believe that we will have a pump here. 15-minute market structure shift confirmed. The hourly is way up high. I do think that we're going to push. The weekly close is not going to be below 2.31 trillion. We'll see how it goes, but that's my plan, and I'm going to ride this one up with my long positions that I share in the community as well. Manage risk, secure yourself, and yeah, take care, guys. Take care. See you here tomorrow. Tomorrow is the weekend. Maybe I see you here tomorrow, but rather on Monday. Join the community. Take care, guys. Ciao, ciao.